Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Z2X. I'm joined here again by.
Gen X,
And,
aka Mom.
and what are we going to be talking about here today?
Well, you and I just finished the second season, season two, right, of
The One
One
Piece
Piece
live action.
live action.
Yes.
Yes. And we're gonna rate it, give our input on it. So if there are spoilers, dudes, people, if you don't like spoilers, skip ahead. Maybe we'll try to put I'll try to put timestamps down below of spoilers. I'll
Yeah.
try.
All right.
You'll try, I'll try. And so that but we'll talk about the whole synopsis of it and what we liked. And because I've only watched the anime a little bit, but you've read the manga, you watched the
Yeah,
anime,
I'm fully caught up in
you're
the
fully
anime.
caught up in all of it in
All
One
a
Piece.
thousand episodes.
It's so long. I'm so
It,
grateful that you told me to skip a bunch of them because I was
it-
like,
yeah.
this
Well,
is a
the
lot.
only reason I was able to watch get so far is because I got it was back when COVID hit and I got really
Oh, that's
sick with COVID
right.
and I was sitting in bed doing
Yeah,
literally nothing and
that whole week.
there's literally I'm like the only thing I could do was watch One Piece. I felt like
Yeah. That's all you could do, I remember. And even when you were like up out of bed, you were just at your desk watching
yeah, because
One
you
Piece.
have no motivation to do like anything else.
No, it was the worst. COVID, although you weren't even vaccinated and you got over it pretty fast in
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
true.
ways.
The
Um, your dad and I are vaccinated and we had the longer
yeah.
longer getting over it.
Well, sorry, I'm just built different. My immune system's better. Sorry, guys.
You're young,
Yeah, I'm young and
young,
spry. But the
young and spry. All right, let's
but
go.
yeah. So the first thing they went through. So this for people that know anything about One Piece, basically, this covers about the same amount they did last time. It covers from Logue Town to Drum Kingdom or Drum Island. Um, uh,
Through all the way through
yeah,
Drum Island.
yeah, all the way through to the end of that. Basically, with the next
Yeah,
season being Alabasta, but that is,
we
and
assume.
I know there's no chance they could. There's no contention about whether like what they're gonna do next, just because they literally couldn't fit anything else but Alabasta because it's a very long arc.
Is it?
Yeah,
So, and there was a bunch of you said it was pretty cool that they introduced like the guy
green hair.
with the violin
The
player.
violet, yeah. So they did stuff like that a few times. I'm gonna start
Uh-huh.
with the
And I
earlier to the later stuff first.
okay, go ahead.
Like so in Logue Town, there's this character that later on, like way later on. I mean, like if this is episode like 60, like he's introduced episode like 600 or something.
Oh wow. I didn't
And,
realize it was that big of a
yeah,
difference.
and his name's Bartolomeo, and he's
And
like
he's the violin player? Is
no
that the one
no
or the
he's the
different
green
one?
hair guy. He's the
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and
yeah. Oh that leads them through the town like
yeah
Luffy. Okay,
and
gotcha.
in the anime he doesn't appear at all until then, but the whole thing is it's like he saw when Luffy was going to be executed and was so inspired he went out to be a pirate.
Uh-huh.
And then he has literally like he's like a Luffy he has like a Luffy fan club.
Well,
um
in the
but in
show,
the show, yeah.
yeah, in the show, Luffy inspired him because he kept asking him, "Don't you have a dream?"
Yeah, he
And
actually is
he,
like active person that like in the that arc in Logetown that's doesn't just appear
yeah,
like he's not retconned in, like he was there the whole time. He actually has like a relative like decent role in Logetown.
yeah,
um
in the live
in
action,
the live action where like he's helps them out like a good bit.
yeah, and
um
you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that they brought that in." I love it that they're bringing in different arcs and different characters to introduce so that people, because that means they're kind of compressing a little bit and
yeah,
things that maybe the creator was like, you know what, this would have been better if he brought here, and this is why his storyline was way over here
yeah.
because I thought of it later. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean,
Things
literally,
like
it comes down to like, for example, Oda didn't think of the seven warlords of the sea as a concept until like like until after Mihawk was introduced, basically. Despite
oh,
being
oh,
like the anime kind of put that in there, but he like didn't even think of it, and he's like didn't was unaware of what he was gonna do with that. And
because
then
he's writing the story for freaking years.
I mean, the story's been going on since 1996, so like 30
That's
years.
so crazy. That's so crazy. So yeah, the live action, um,
Yeah, and then yeah, with the live action, then later on, so they have this. So there's this whole arc with this whale called Laboon, who is like
that was so
yeah,
sweet.
where yeah, it's like he's trying to like anime watchers will know it pretty well, but he's trying to basically because there's this thing called the reverse mountain, and the ocean is split into four different seas,
And you have
and
to go up the water,
yeah,
up the
yeah,
mountain.
and he's trying to like smash his way through the island to, or like this giant mountain to find like the crew that kind of left him behind.
It's kind
Um,
of like a crater type, or I don't know how to explain it. I do know it's kind of like
I mean, it's like
a
Mount Fuji.
canyon. It's a canyon,
Yeah,
and he's good trying to get through the canyon, but it's too narrow,
yeah, and
so
it
the
goes
whale can't get
upwards.
through.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, and
it's
so the whale's trying to smash through that to get through there.
yeah, but
But the
he'll just
story
kill
was
himself by doing
beautiful. Yeah,
yeah, that's the whole thing, and then but so the later on it shows that a later on crewmate of Luffy called Brook, who's a musician, him like those are the people that originally left Laboon behind, and they're like, we'll come back for you when we're done sailing through the Grand Line. Well, they end up eventually though from out of their own will
dying.
they die,
Uh-huh.
and they're never able to rescind on their promise. Or well, they end up rescinding on their promise because they're never able to go there because they're dead.
To get back, yeah.
But it shows Brook because I mean the whole thing with Brook is he has a devil fruit that brings him back to life. But
Yeah, and
before,
that's the violin player in
yeah,
the real life,
yeah, yeah,
just so
and
people know.
they show him. I mean, you can pop up probably a picture of it.
Uh-huh.
But they basically bring him in and like have him sing the song and show the Rumbar Pirates entirely. So you actually see Brook early on in this instead of it being like way later on, which I think is actually really good because if you don't know the anime, you don't really know of this guy. But if and I really hope they eventually do adapt this part of
The
uh,
anime into the real life.
anime into the live action, then it'll be like, oh my god, I remember that guy. He was with these people right here. He was the
I
guy
feel
with Laboon.
I think they will because Laboon is such an important part too, but and I think that that was a good arc to introduce later on down the
Yeah.
road, like you said, when he's can't, and we don't want to give up all that parts on that one. I my whole thing of this, I thought it was way better than season one, and I really enjoyed season one
Oh yeah,
and live
I
action.
think I mean the CGI has definitely improved on a lot of stuff,
Uh-huh.
and some of the
And
CGI they do is very impressive, and it
yeah,
flows
it really
better.
is. But the acting was a little bit better. You can tell the characters are more comfortable in their roles.
Yeah, because a lot of these actors were
And
like very like they didn't really
new,
get roles in the past. Like this is their first time really like
the main ones, but the
yeah.
other ones, the back behind the scenes actors and actresses are very well known. Like Peg Bundy, Siegel, she was in there too, and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember her. And Futurama voice, but
What's her name?
um, Kate Siegel, isn't that her name?
Hold up.
She was the witch, remember?
Yeah, Dr. Correa. Hold up.
Yeah. But I
Katie
felt like
Seagal.
in Katie Siegel. Yeah, and I felt like Chopper. Chopper's the way how they focused in on his backstory was way more,
Than
I feel
anything
like, than they
else.
did than the other first season on the other characters or the people. So that to me seems like Chopper and Luffy are going to have a little bit more.
I mean,
They're the main players. You know what I mean? Because they usually give people the ones that are it's about the the most screen time. Does that make sense?
because the thing is though is that oftentimes, I mean, Chopper's almost like a little bit of a mascot in a way, but
Yeah.
the whole thing though is that I mean, Chopper is more like he does have his moments, but he's mostly a comedic relief in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh. But
Um,
maybe that's for the anime. But maybe in the live action, they might change it up again a
I,
bit. I'm just trying to say because I feel like there was a seed planted there that was a little different than the anime. Because I did see him in the anime and I watched a little bit, but I feel like there's something that the live action's gonna do?
Well, I think that they just played on the heartstrings a bit more for the actual thing, but I think at its core the content is kind of
The same
the same. Yeah, because I mean Chopper's backstory is still just really sad in the
in the
actual
anime,
in this anime.
in
I
the manga.
Yeah, manga and the anime.
Uh
Um,
huh.
but basically, hold up.
Pull up.
I'm trying to find the quote because Oda said like he was talking. Yeah, he. I think this is it right here. Yeah. Oda about the live action Chopper. Quote, I was worried, but I was shared materials from the early stages. They did tend to see Chopper as this living creature at first, concerned about being true to animal bone structure, for instance, and bringing some realism to his look. So I suggested that they think of him as a stuffed toy. If you make him too realistic, it goes into the uncanny valley. So think of him as a
Oh
cute
yeah.
plush. Um,
Oh, and they did,
yeah,
and they did do that.
Yeah, Chopper's voice was something we discussed a lot to get right too. When I think of cute characters in live action Hollywood films, their cuteness feels a bit tongue in cheek to make them more palatable to adults. But Chopper needs to look and sound cute. I think it's a cuteness that's
Uh-huh.
unique to Japan. I feel like Chopper needs more than Hollywood cuteness.
I love Oda. He sticks to his guns on what he wants his characters to be like, and he makes it. I love that. Love it that he has that kind of creative control over this One
Yeah,
Piece live
he
action.
decides all the things. By the way, too, I remember seeing it's like even though he doesn't see them in real life, he basically like sees all the auditions and he's like,
Uh-huh.
and then he's like, this person speaks to me. Like, hold up, let me,
Yeah,
yeah,
he senses there that he's like, yeah, that's going to be this person.
yeah,
I love it. I love that. And I just think, and we just laughed because the actor that played Dr.
Dr.
Arch
Correa or Hairlick. So there's this
Hairlick. I
character
was like,
called
no, Dr. Hairlick
there's this character called Dr. Hairlock who's very important to Chopper's
to
backstory,
Chopper. Yeah.
and the actor who plays it is Mark Hairlick.
I know that was so
Yeah,
funny. And I
Mark
love that actor
Hairlick.
in real life too,
Yeah.
his other shows and stuff that he's done. He's a good
Oh,
actor.
he's
Again,
amazing. I think he really
all of the
stole
back
the
yeah,
show when he was
I
on
think
screen.
all the back actors that they have, they've all been in really high shows, high-end shows or high-end movies, and they're playing supporting actors in this live action. I love it. I love it so
Yeah,
much that
versus
all of
in like most of their roles are like big roles. For example, the
yeah,
opener,
exactly.
like a big thing I think is that like the opener narrator who's like Goldie Roger, he's like that guy. Even they don't really show him, but like he's like that was the actor for Blackbeard in Pirates of the Caribbean, or Garp
Yeah,
is like a very
yeah.
big
He's
Scottish
been
actor.
yeah. He's and actually he was in the Gladiator and he was in what is it 300?
300, I think. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, and he was in 300 too. So and he's been in a lot of the Garp is he's like a I would say a list B
a
actor
B
in
plus
for
maybe I would say.
yeah, for America and England. In England, I would almost say that maybe he's more on the A list for England. He's a very well-known
Yeah,
actor. I enjoy him. I've enjoyed him as an actor for 30 years. And so yeah, that's what made me laugh is because all of these really famous actors are behind the scenes. They're the supporting actors to these little nobodies that
yeah,
are
like
the One Piece crew, which is kind of like how it is in the how they are. You know what I mean? It's like they're these little
these guys in a world way bigger than
ragtag
them.
people. Yeah, they're these kids basically in this, and they're just making their way and they're making it work. You know, they're growing up as they're going. And then all these other people that are behind them have been doing this for 100 years or whatever,
Or a
you know,
very
like the
long
show
time.
is.
Well, because
Yeah.
the whole thing that I think is interesting to note is in this series, Gold Roger died like 30 some odd years ago, but and then
Oh
these guys
yeah.
just showed up. Like a lot of the people that started acting immediately are like they've given up on their dreams. Like there's a lot of these characters, and that's a big part of the story is that like dreams where these people tried getting the One Piece, but then they failed, and then they became disillusioned to
Yeah,
the
that's right. That's
idea,
right.
and
Mhm.
they gave up on their dreams effectively, which
Yeah,
we
and
like
that's
weakened them. Like literally, it weakens them, and these people are like way easier for. Like there's this character later on called Gecko Moria who like was
uh-huh.
really strong, but
Uh-huh.
he ends up getting defeated by Luffy because I mean like he just let himself go away. He lost his crew, and then he just never tried again.
Yeah, but let's focus on just
Yeah,
the live action
but
season
I
2 One
mean,
Piece.
yeah, I mean they added a lot too. There's
And
the
then Buggy was back in this one
I
too,
was just about
right?
to bring Buggy up. He had this one
Uh-huh.
quote in the live action. Yeah, he's like that. I think is really indicative, and I like that they gave it to him. He's like, the most powerful thing in the world isn't a weapon or a devil fruit or even a dream. It's a story. Which
Yeah,
I feel
I
like,
remember he
yeah,
said that. Yeah, and that was a good one. That's right before they.
he
He
tries
just
to
always.
execute him.
Yeah, I think it's so funny that he always gets he, he him and Luffy, they're like the yin and yang of each other in a lot of ways, which is funny because he's not really Luffy's yin yang. He won't be because he's more of oh, what was the one that he was with in season 1 that him and the other pirate
Shanks.
Shanks. Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
because
I always forget the names of these.
the thing is that Shanks and Buggy used to be really good
That's what
friends,
I was thinking. Yeah, yeah.
and he sees that. Oh yeah, something I was gonna mention in the live action. I think they do a really good job. Is they oftentimes like add little bits and extra dialogue hinting to other people's backstories, like Sanji.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like because they actually go in for anime watchers, you'll know, but they go into like the backstory of his like sick mom, and they don't give a lot of like details there, but like
But
it.
the in real life gave it way more
Yeah,
better.
yeah,
Better.
like yeah, because in the anime they don't even mention that, but I mean it makes sense because this guy like like if you lose your mom to illness and then someone in your crew gets illness, you're probably gonna be like pretty protective of them, or like
Yeah,
I
and
don't want
that
this person to die.
and in the live action, you learn that that's why how he became a chef
Oh yeah,
in a
well,
lot of ways. That's what that created the love for cooking.
yeah, to make his mom feel better, but
Yeah, exactly. That was a really good backstory on him too that we got a little hint into. So and what else did they other connect any more arcs together? Um,
I gotta think here. I mean
the episodes are very long
I
again.
mean they're an hour long, so you're basically looking at about 8 hours to for the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
series.
But I thought we did it in 4 days, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we did two ones a day. I think. Yeah.
yeah, yes. It was on average 2 a day. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like I mean it's definitely long, but it's very entertaining, and there's just like I mean there's some hints later on to the series that they just like put in, especially with the giants. And they talked about Nika. Um,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I won't say what Nika is, but it's very important later on in the story.
And I
Um,
love it that's another thing with Luffy and the one that's scared all the time.
Usopp, love
Usopp are
Usopp.
gonna go to the giants. They promised
Yeah,
that they
the
would.
land of the giants. Yeah, that's something that was way earlier, and I mean the current arc of One Piece is actually Elbaf, like it is the land of the giants,
Oh,
and
so
they
that's kind of very quinky-dink, huh?
yeah, which it's still at the kind of beginning, but they're like this is gonna be Usopp's arc because I mean he's literally talked
Oh
about going there
yeah.
the entire
Yeah, and
series
and and that was Usopp's dream. Like I felt like
to
we
become
were
a
talking
brave
about
warrior
that.
of the sea.
So, and I felt like during that whole season 2, everybody was working on their dreams because Zoro he kept having the
Oh yeah, they put visions of like where Zoro would literally see Mihawk like in these visions like
and
taunting
fighting
him
exactly, and that's his dream to be able
to
to,
become the world's strongest swordsman, and Mihawk
yeah,
currently
and
has
so
that.
yeah, and Luffy and all of them, they had their dream and they're working on their dream. That
Yeah,
they're like working on themselves,
yeah.
basically, is what it's trying to say.
I
They're
mean,
working on themselves.
and they definitely. I mean, there's like they overall just like help exemplify that concept of like because I mean that's
Yeah.
already very important in One Piece. They just kind of hammered it in a bit more, and they and basically they have the gift of hindsight. I think is what's really important to know. Is that
Oh,
that they
100%.
know what's gonna happen versus Oda, which is like making the manga weekly and he doesn't have everything planned out. They can put all this stuff in, and they I mean they just do a very good job at it. That's like it's basically like fan service is what I would call it because I mean it's like if you won't know what the hell they're talking about unless you watch the anime or read the manga, but like for those people, for those fans, I think you'll
Yeah.
really enjoy it. I think it's still true, and it's not insulting at all to the original work at all. It doesn't Flanderize it because a lot of like live action stuff Flanderizes
Oh yeah.
the like
I
whatever
think
it's
they
based
do
off of.
such a good job. And I don't read the manga, but I have watched the anime. And and the anime is a little hard because it's a
It's
lot.
well, yeah, it's
For me,
horribly
it
paced.
is. But this live action, I love it so much. It's so entertaining. It's so
It has this
fun.
magic to it that I
It
think.
does, doesn't it? It really does. I think it does. I enjoy it. And your daddy, he's like, it's really cheesy, and it is
I mean,
cheesy for those
anime and manga
Gen
is cheesy.
X's. Yeah, if Gen X's, some Gen X's don't like it, but I don't mind cheesy stuff. You and I like the cheese, Alan.
Yeah,
We're
cheese,
the
grandma,
cheesy
cheese.
trees. But I just think I think it's so sweet too. There's so many sweet aspects as a mom, that you would
I mean,
relate to, I
it's
think.
got a good message, and I hear a lot of kids even that like watch this stuff are inspired by these characters and by
Oh,
people like
so
Luffy.
good. That's so sweet.
Which
Yeah.
I mean I think is kind of what you gotta go for at the end of the
Yeah.
day. But like and it's I think that if you don't want anime to be cheesy, then you're already missing the point because it's over Japanese stuff is over the top. It's crazy. It's like it's gonna look weird in live action, but they're aware it's gonna look weird in live action, and they do it anyways because this world is
Uh-huh.
a weird world. Luffy's powers are weird. These people like there's one dude that they have put him up on screen, Mister Three, with this whack hair,
Oh
and the
my god.
wax powers and stuff, and he
Oh my god.
is
I'm sorry, but I thought Mr. 9 was a weirdo too with his crown. But go ahead.
yeah,
Mr. 3 was also another one.
yeah,
I think it was funny though. It was
yeah.
hilarious.
Well, because the thing is, Mister Nine was such a nobody character in the anime, but that actor did a really good job at just making that guy seem like such more of a. And I mean, the script as a
Yeah.
whole, like I hate this
Yeah.
guy. This guy sucks.
I do know what they introduced in season 2 better is how they introduced the new characters with the cards that flash and
Oh
move
yeah,
around.
I think that was a really fun piece of editing. Yeah,
Yeah. I like that part. I love that part actually because it gives you a little like it doesn't stop and you don't have to find out who it is. It just is like an anime. It's
yeah,
like the anime where it
yeah.
just flashes up there and does it.
I mean they do stuff like yeah like I like how they either pull the bounty up on screen or
Yeah.
they do the Baroque works
The
like
name is yeah, the rope
their
works.
name and their flag.
Yeah.
Um, and then at the end of the season, I imagine people that do like the series would like to hear this, but they show I mean Crocodile at the end. I think the casting for Crocodile already looks so cool, and
Yeah. Uh-huh.
they show like Crocodile and Nico Robin and pull their bounties up on screen, which again
I'm
I think they like did such a good job of showing the aura of these like the warlords of the sea, where it has like this text. It's like bounty canceled by the world government, and I'm like man, that's like
yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
perfect because these guys are meant to seem so intimidating, and just the editing that they do like really adds to it.
I think they did a really good job. For me, it was better than season 1 and the last 2 episodes were the best. The
Oh,
best.
amazing! They did Chopper's
100%.
backstory perfectly.
Yeah. The chopper one, if you make it all the way the
Episode
episode 7,
7.
oh my gosh. Episode 7, for me 10 out of 10. The whole season, I would say 9 out of 10. Maybe
I
9.5, 9.5
I
out of
would
10.
say I would have to agree with you because I think that they took the source material and they improved upon it. I think that like overall as a whole, the live action takes a lot of the parts that I think are really special about the anime
Yeah. And
and
the characters.
the
Yeah.
characters, and it uses the gift of foresight that it's given
Yeah.
to and improves on it. They take these ideas and they're like, how can we make it? They're not
Better.
well in a way they're not trying to be like let's do our own thing and make it better. They're like,
No.
how can we take something that was already executed well and make
And
sure make it better?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. It is making it better. It's just taking but it's not creating something different.
Yeah,
It's
they
it's
understand
just
what made it good.
expanding on it. It's almost like you have a black and white and then you make it into color. Does
Yeah,
that make sense? That it's like vibrant. It comes at you and you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because
Okay."
the key thing is that they have a lot of love in the series. They know what
Yeah, you
makes
can
One
tell.
Piece good and
Mhm.
special, and then
Uh-huh.
and then they,
I'm so glad he retained complete control over it. I
yeah,
don't think it'd be as good if he hadn't.
100%, and also that they hired people that were like really passionate. Like
Mm-hmm,
for example,
exactly.
this is what Oda said on the auditions. I reviewed their photo, or so specifically the question was asked: how does Oda choose someone from the auditions for a character? I review their photos and audition tapes, and I don't actually meet them in person, but sometimes something about their core comes across, and if it matches the character, it's an immediate yes for me. Looking at the part is important too. When the actor is a fit for the character, I know it when I see it. Not much logic to it, hard to explain. It's not really verbal.
It's just intuition. Yeah, it's just his feeling, his intuition. It's his baby, and he wants to bring his baby to life. He knows what he knows.
Yeah,
He knows what he wants.
yeah,
He knows what he likes.
and exactly, like, so something with like the chopper being changed showed that they really were like, okay, sir, yes, sir. I remember hearing this funny thing that the Zoro actor, Oda said one thing to him when they were filming in South Africa, like because he came down, he's like, make your neck muscles bigger," and then he walked away. And he's like, I felt really
buffed out.
Oh, dude, these guys, they all became so buffed out, but like especially Zoro, like that
Zoro.
guy.
Shit, yeah, he did.
Dude, that actor.
Like, wow, his neck did buff out.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap, he went 110% there.
Yeah, and he did really good. I think all of the acting was
really good.
Way more mature. You can tell that they're growing into their characters
and their roles.
And it's
still
cheesy, but in their roles
and
their characters, they're growing with it, and you can see it. And I love it. I love it all. We'll have to wait and see what your dad thinks about it because he hasn't watched season 2 yet. But and that's why we didn't have anything this last week, everybody, because we've got lots going on, and we probably won't have anything next week. This will be right.
We're like exactly. This is like
weeks behind on stuff, but because we've got a lot going on. But so yeah, I think what is your rating on it? We'll put the ratings too.
I would say about same as yours, 9.5, mainly because I love like the dedication to improve, like including stuff that shows later on in the series.
Yeah.
And when they would realistically make sense, and how close it stays because they do alter some storyline stuff like with Smoker. And include him more as like a B plot, but I think overall.
And what's his name? Luffy's real dad.
Yeah.
Was in there in the
Dragon.
That's different too.
But yeah, I think overall they do an excellent job, and I have no complaints. When I got done watching, I'm like, I wish there was more.
That's how I was. I was like, listen, whoever's doing Netflix, you're doing One Piece season 3 fast.
Yeah, now. Yeah,
I am so ready for it. I was just like, no effing way. I need more.
Yeah, like
and that doesn't usually happen with me with live action stuff. It just doesn't. But this one does it definitely. And I just feel like I'm ready for it. I think they did a wonderful, amazing job.
Yeah, I entirely agree. We need give us the One Piece season 3, because man, with how they're doing so far, I am so excited to see what they do next. And then in season 4, I wonder how far they're gonna take it. But like especially the beginning arcs of One Piece are so good that I think it's gonna be brilliant. I say get into it now, or so then you can really understand it. And if the anime is all too daunting inside, it's incredibly daunting. It's 1,000 episodes.
And if you hadn't told me which ones to just skip,
I
would have just given up.
Well, because
I would have given up on it.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that they were releasing weekly. Because you have they're called seasonal versus weekly anime. An example is like Jujutsu Kaisen is like, here's our 12 episodes we created. We're gonna release them once per week, and then that's it, right? And we have 12 episodes in this batch that covers this. Weekly means that literally these guys are working 24/7, and oftentimes will overtake the manga, which means they have to make their own bullshit up. Or like non-canon arcs, which literally add nothing to the story and are never mentioned again.
It's fluff.
It's fluff. Yeah, because they're like, we got to keep making something, but we have nothing to make.
I think it's great, and I think the live action, if people really don't want to go that deep, they can get all of it in with the live action too. I think people are fine with just the live action. That's just my personal.
And if you want to. In my opinion, the anime is good, but if you don't feel like watching all that stuff, but you still want to continue the story after watching the live action, just like read the manga or something.
Yeah, I
That's
was just
not
gonna say that's what I was
it's
gonna
not
say.
that
Read the
long.
manga.
Yeah, it's
And everybody loves the manga. I mean, I've watched people on YouTube that are like those family from Australia that I
mhm.
watched, and I just love their all of their kids and the adults watch or read the manga for One Piece. They love it.
Yeah, it's a very
And
special
you and
series.
I just finished the last episode of Jujutsu Kaisen that just came out, so we're excited about that one too. But I'm ready for one more One Piece. One Piece is more uplifting and
Oh
fun.
yeah, 100%. One Piece is, I think, a series that because of that resonates with so many people.
It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe than a lot
It,
of
it
other.
is about hopes and dreams and
Yes,
going
yes,
against
yeah.
the people that want to crush those.
Yeah, it's all
And
about keeping your hopes and dreams alive. And you can go off on your own and have other stuff, but people start looking at people around you that are helping you with your hopes and your dreams instead of people around you that are squashing
yeah,
your hopes and
I mean,
dreams.
it's a story kind of about found family too.
Yeah, it is. And even though think about the whale one and the guy he was in, Luffy was talking to the whale about,
Yeah,
hey, sometimes you don't always choose it, but it chooses you because somebody decided to stay and help you.
yeah,
So you might change your dream because you're stuck. Basically, in real life, that's what it's trying to say, the metaphor. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place if you think about it in real life.
yeah,
And but if you look up, there's this person there who's waiting for you that will be your friend with you, and it's okay. You're not going to be there alone. I loved that metaphor. I loved it so much.
yeah, and
It was pretty amazing.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know if other people are going to see that out of that, but I that's what I got out of that part.
I agree. I think that's a big thing about it. And I mean, genuinely, just a real. I think One Piece is a great message, and it's fun. It's silly, and
Hmm.
it
It's
doesn't.
campy.
Yeah, it's
It's
can
cheesy.
and it doesn't. It knows exactly what it is at the end of the day. And
Yeah,
if
it
you
really
like
does.
it, and if you like One
Yeah.
Piece, I think you'll think it's great.
I think so too, and I think parents let your kids watch it.
Oh
There's
yeah,
nothing
100%.
there any every age group, and that's why Netflix it does so well is on every age group can watch this, and there's no hidden sex scenes that would be inappropriate or
There
anything
isn't
like
even
that.
romance in. There's literally no
No,
romance
no,
in One Piece. Like a big thing is that like Luffy doesn't even like he's too focused on adventure and all this stuff to even
yeah,
care about that stuff.
girls aren't even in his mind.
Yeah, it is.
The
It is.
closest thing they came to is when the boys went upstairs to with those girls. They don't show anything, do anything, nothing. You know what I mean? It's just
Because I mean, literally the whole idea behind stuff like that is that like you're like sometimes characters are flirtatious, especially like Sanji, who like.
yeah.
Oh my god! I'm so glad how they changed Sanji in the anime. He's like it's so over the top that it genuinely gets irritating, despite him being my favorite Straw Hat.
Uh-huh.
And but in the live action, he's toned down that, and he just feels like a way better character. It's the same core of the character, but it just feels way
Real, like a real person and not just
like yeah, like it feels like how the character was originally before he got like
oh,
in some ways I feel like
yeah.
flanderized, but overall,
Anyway,
give it a watch. I say give
yep,
it a
give it a
watch.
watch. I do too. I do too. I loved it. We just wanted to share that with everybody that we finished that and our what's your overall? So you're about 9.5,
I would
except for
say
the last two episodes are
nine
like a 10 and
9.5, except with the second to last episode being
I would say
a
that's a
10 out of
10.
10. That's a 10 out of
Me
10.
too. I feel the second to last episode is a 10 out of
Ah,
10.
so yeah,
100%.
brilliant
All the
job.
acting, everything was so good. Anyway, that's all for us. Do you want anything, say anything else?
Nope, I think that's about it.
All right, guys.
We'll see you guys
Have
later.
bye.
Bye.